and today we are back checking out a lot of ships. You may have seen part 1, so it's time for part 2. Our first ship we're checking out today is the Berengarian by Cunard Line, originally by Germany. If you're wondering what the German livery looked like, it looked like this when it was named. I'm not even going to try and pronounce. But we will be sailing it with the Cunard livery. Let's load up. And load up on our cargo. Looks like that tugboat just crashed into us. There we go, we're loaded up. And where should we head to? Let's head to Cherbourg. The nice classic Southampton to Cherbourg route. But we gotta be careful because minefield is in this area. And if you saw with the voyage with the Blue Speed 1 in the first video, yeah, we struck a mine pretty early on in the voyage. Same with the other ship in the video. Just forget what that ship was. But hopefully we don't hit a mine otherwise. Yeah, that would not be good. But anyways, the Berengaria is heading to Cherbourg. And I'm a really big fan of the Berengaria. I think the design just looks very cool, and those pretty funnels. But still, nothing beats the Olympic class for me. As you can see, there's some slanted windows on the ship. I wonder what those would have led to. Please let me know in the comments. And something very interesting. Like in the ship we checked out in part 1, this ship actually has lifeboats on the front of the ship, so hopefully nothing like Titanic will happen again. And we better turn because there's a burning oil rig in front of us. Unfortunately, no interior, which is strange because the sister ship to the Berengaria, the RMS Majestic, has interior because it was revamped. And that's another ship we'll actually be checking out in today's video. And like in part 1, after we do a voyage, we'll head out into deeper water and sink the vessel. Of course, Berengaria never sank in real life. She was scrapped. Like all old ocean liners, once they reached the 1930s, built in the... Like all the ocean liners from the 1910s made their way to the 1930s, they would be scrapped. Like Olympic, Mauritania, Majestic. Surprisingly, Aquitania survived until the 1950s. That's when she was scrapped. Man, the 1940s and 50s had a 4-funnel ocean liner. So, yeah. Anyways, we are almost at Cherbourg. So, yeah. Interesting how there's a yellow sheer stripe at the stern, like Lusitania. Something interesting that Cunard always did for its earlier ocean liners, unlike Queen Mary, Queen Elizabeth, Queen Elizabeth II, Queen Mary II, RMS Coronia. And this, in the superstructure, kind of reminds me of the Olympic class, mainly the promenade, because some of it's closed and some of it is opened, similar to the Olympic class. And surprisingly, we did not hit any mines, even though there will be mines from Southampton to Cherbourg. But anyway, I can see Cherbourg in the distance, and we'll be able to drop off our passengers. Very nice. Yeah, we have dropped off our passengers. Let's sail out towards, we'll try and sail out towards New York if the ship can turn and then line up there. Okay, we'll sail out of Cherbourg and then we'll sink the vessel. Because it's nighttime, it'll be a hard time seeing the wreck. But it's 1 in the morning in game, so we should be able to get a nice sunrise soon. How should we sink by? I did not mean to jump off the ship. Get back in the captain's seat. There we go. Let's restart the engines and get moving. How should we sink by? Let's sink by bow of the starboard list. Oh, there's an ice field. We could have sank in the ice field. Oh well. And the Berengaria is going down by her bow with a starboard list. Lifeboats are trying to get away as the ship is going down. Good thing the ship has more lifeboats, unlike Titanic, so hopefully all the passengers should get off. And she is going down. The last funnel is going to collapse. Giving me Britannic vibes before it went vertical, almost completely vertical. And it's almost a sunrise as the Berengaria goes down. The water was shallow, so she hit bottom and sunk. Well, there she is, on her side. She's kind of a bit raised up on her side, like the Lusitania wreck, sorta, because it's crushing the funnels. So, kinda looks like a Lusitania wreck, not gonna lie. Interestingly, the propeller and how the rudder is spaced, kind of similar to the Lusitania. Alright, let's teleport to Cherbourg. And hopefully Cherbourg doesn't know there's a ship that's outside of its port. Anyway, let's move on to the next ship. Here we are in the Carpathia. Nice, excellent ship. The Carpathia, as we all know, is famously No, for rescuing the Titanic survivors. And she got hit by a torpedo in 1918 and sunk. Won't be going as fast as Berengaria because it's a bit, as we all know, smaller. And we got Thunderstorm. Don't think Carpathia was ever in the Thunderstorm during her career, but if I'm wrong, feel free to let me know in the comments below. Uh-oh. Collision. Very close call there with the Titanic. An AI Titanic. Because the AI Titanic is playing in probably copyrighted music, I'll have to remove the music in my editor. So thank you very much, Titanic. Oh, shut up with your horn. But anyway, the Carpathia is making her way to Halifax. Shut up, Titanic. Jeez. No one wants to hear your... Shut up, Titanic. No one wants to hear you blow your horn 4,000 times. Hey, nice... There's an ice field. If Titanic was sinking in that ice field, we could rescue the survivors, but... Fortunately, I did not see any Titanic because we're on a private server. And... another one of my friend is on the private server with me. Making our way to Halifax. Hopefully we can get there by the time the storm ends. Because we are really rocking and rolling. Water. The Carpathia. The reason why we're back is because my game lagged and the recording ended, so we're still on part 2, but just gonna combine the 2 parts together. Anyway, let's get going. Wait, we forgot to load the passengers. That would not be good. Okay, now we can get going to Halifax. Alright, let's get going to Halifax. Hopefully we don't get any hazards like the Berengaria. But who knows, we may get torpedoed. If you get torpedoed, that would be accurate. Because the real ship did get torpedoed. How are we still on Cherbourg? We are like out of the port, but we're still on Cherbourg. Because apparently what the game says. Eventually we will be out of the port. Yep, we're now in the open ocean. There's the ice field. But we won't be in the ice field. I see some land underwater. in the distance. But anyway, the Carpathia is on its way. Now, if you switch the skin, we get a nice livery of what the Carpathia may have looked like during World War. But if I'm correct, she probably went down with this livery. Like, she sank with this livery. Only 14 knots, so it will take a while to get to Halifax, but eventually we will be there. I see a crater. I'm concerned of that crater. That crater should not be there. Maybe if we honk our horn, it'll go away. Oh, who am I kidding? If we honk our horn, it's not gonna be there. If I honk my horn, so that's what that land was. But believe between. Wait, why ain't the ship turning? Oh, there we go. It's like, wait, why isn't the ship turning? It was because I was not pressing A. ASWD. W forward. S backwards. A is port, and I believe D is starboard. But I could be completely wrong. You know what? We might actually stop at Castaway Cay real quick. Yeah, we might actually stop here in Castaway Cay. Yeah, we'll stop at Castaway Cay and then head over to Halifax. You can no longer see Cherbourg in the distance. Only the Cherbourg text. As we are now approaching Castaway Cay. And it will soon be night. 14 p.m. right now in game. Never heard of 14 p.m. I only heard of 12 p.m. So, yeah, interesting. Anyway, almost at Castaway Cay to pick up on some fuel, even though we have plenty to reach Halifax. But I'm gonna refuel. Oh, we're almost at Castaway Cay. As you can see, the text is getting bigger as we are approaching Castaway Cay. Then we'll turn and head to Halifax. The Ethan Star Line home port. Well, really, the Blue Speed 1 and 2 home port. Fortunately, no interior. Wait, with ships that don't have interior. Oh no, anchors, anchors! Reverse the vessel, reverse the vessel, reverse the vessel! Ahaha, can't get me now if I'm reversing. Close call. Back to what I was saying. With ships that don't have interior, only promenades, how do the engines actually fall out of the ship if the ships don't how do the engines fall out of the ships with the ships that have no interior like Carpathia? You know what I mean. Anyway, almost at Castaway Cay. As you can see, the stars are appearing because it is now almost night. So I'm gonna turn on the lights. Turning on the lights. Bit early to turn on the lights, but I don't give a care. As you can see, there's Castaway Cay. If you saw in part 1 of when I did the Republic from Cape Town to New York, I was going to go to Rio, but I risked it by not going to Rio. So I didn't. And we actually made it to Halifax. New York, not going to Rio though. But I'm not going to risk it, and I'm actually making my way over to Stopover Port. Okay, we are now refueled. Are you kidding me? That's another rogue wave. Aha, but it didn't go as far where we were, so we are okay. And there's another one. Hey, at least Castaway Cay is not going to get hit. Unlike this tender boat over here that is going to get hit. Get out of the way, tender boat! Tell them by the funnel, it's yellow, so it could be the nomadic. Or the traffic. Oh no. We have collided with its stern. And now it's... And because once we collide... And once we actually collide with the tender boat actually starts sinking. See, there it goes. It has sunk and is now going to the bottom of the ocean near Castaway Cay. What? Hey, what the heck? What the heck, man? What? How did the game reset? Okay. Why? Oh my god, now we have to redo the voice. Now we have to do the frickin' voice. Thank you, game. Thank you. Thank you very much, game. Like, dude. Not cool. Now I have to restart the entire voyage again. I'll see you when we get back to Castaway Cay. Okay. Passing the ice field. Again. Wait. It looks like we're in front of the iceberg that is in front of us. Excuse me, are we going to... Oh no, we're going to have a collision. This is going to be what if Carpathia sank while headed to Titanic's last known position. AKA heading to Titanic. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, 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 no. We are going to have a collision course. Not with a ship, an iceberg. Oh my. Ooh, very close call. Ooh, very close call. Wait, what? Oh my. I have turned the wrong way. And we're about to collide with this iceberg. Oh god. Oh, there's a collision. We go pump and water. We had collided with an iceberg.
Each one sealed by a door.
And we are now going 11 knots, so
they would drop straight through the floor.
Now we have to go slower.
Hydraulic cylinders slow, therefore.
Yeah, we're definitely going to head over to Castaway Cay to get the ship repaired. Okay. We're now making our way back to Castaway Cay. Because the server time reset, it is the afternoon. It is now afternoon. Well, noon, not afternoon. Once I believe it hits 13 o'clock p.m., it'll be afternoon. There's another rogue wave. What is it with me and finding rogue waves today in the Carpathia? And if the Carpathia got hit by a rogue wave, definitely significant. You know what I mean. Damage. We are now approaching Castaway Cay again. We're almost there. Okay, almost at Castaway Cay. Again. Just a freaking game. Resetted on me. As you can see, there's Castaway Cay, and we should be refueled soon. Okay, I was able to use the pumps again. Still have a still leaning slight a bit. but nothing too much. It's not like a very bad list. With a big ocean liner, Carpathia is more like a medium small ocean liner. But we should be refueled soon. Once we enter Castaway Cay, and it is almost nighttime. So I'll turn the lights on. And then I'll wait for it to get a bit darker. Okay, the ship is now repaired, well, refueled, and now we can make our way back to Halifax. Hopefully the game won't reset on me. But we'll now make our way to Halifax, aka where the Halifax explosion took place. Yeah. Righty, making our way to Halifax. Okay, just looking around, and there are no tender boats on the collision course. Because with that other tender boat we collided into before the game resetted, we just tapped its stern and it sunk. Very interesting. I'm gonna turn the lights on because it's now a bit darker. 17 p.m. That's not even a real number for time. 17 p.m. The ship has stopped, leaning, listing, little bit turning. But it will be a nice nighttime as Carpathia will reach Halifax. Good thing I decided to refuel back at Castaway Cay. Because we may have been in the same situation as when we were in the Romantic, headed from Cape Town to New York. Anyway, we are almost at our destination. Check the mini-map if there's any land. As you can see, there is land beside us. But I believe you see the Tanish Island on the map? That should be the port of Halifax. I could be wrong, but it could be. Wait, after our iceberg collision we had, and if we sink by current damage, how will the ship sink? We're going to test it out. After, of course, we deliver our passengers, because passengers on our sinking ship will not appreciate that. Check the mini-map. Okay, I'm just gonna make a slight turn. There we go. And we should be at the port soon. that's interesting to me. They had the Oceanic 2 and 3 in Tiny Sailor's World, but not the Oceanic 1. The same Oceanic that looks similar to the SS Atlantic. The 1870. No, the 1870. The 1870 Oceanic, not the 1899 Atlantic. You know what I'm talking. Which Atlantic I'm talking? I mean, Oceanic I'm talking about. Hopefully, they will add the Oceanic 1 in this game. They're probably not going to add Oceanic 1 because we already have the SS Atlantic, and that's like a similar design to the Oceanic 1. Okay, we should almost be at Halifax soon. Hopefully. Let's see if I can use the pumps. Okay. We were able to use the pumps again. We have a little, like, you can kind of notice it. The ship, like, turning right and left. Lifting. But not that badly. If I probably hit the pumps again, we'll probably be, like, at full health, maybe. But of course I have to look for the countdown. AKA the cooldown. What's interesting to me in this game is that the creators of this game made Titanic's propellers of 4-blade. Not sure if they did it with Olympic and Britannic. I'm assuming they did, but it is actually debated whenever Titanic had 4-bladed propellers like this, or 3-bladed. Of course, there is an option to make the ships have a 3-bladed propeller. I'm mostly the guy who thinks the Titanic has a 3-bladed propeller. And there's another ice field. First from Cherbourg to Castaway Cay. Now Castaway Cay to Halifax. Well, you can also probably find this ice field from Halifax to New York. Okay, we're almost at Halifax. Check the mini-map to see if how close we are. I say we're almost close to the port. It's interesting how the creator never added the port of registry on the stern of the ship. That's only a thing you have to do with the ships during the ship offerings to have the port of registry. My Titanic was Liverpool, and the Blue Speed 1 and 2 was Halifax. Carpathia, I believe, will be Liverpool. And as you can see, there is Halifax in the distance. We have made it to Halifax. From going 14 knots, hitting an iceberg, and going to 11 knots. So we still made it. So, yay. Okay, we will just wait to drop off our passengers. We'll head out. and sink the vessel by current damage. We have made it into Halifax and we have dropped off our passengers. Okay, we'll sail out and sink the vessel by current damage. Or we could just try and hit one of the icebergs again. Okay, we'll sink it outside of the port. Sink by current damage. How will she go down? She is listing over. Alrighty. Oh, whoa, she's freaking out a little bit. So she's listing to her side. Very interesting. Somewhat sort of accurate because she probably would have listed a little bit after the torpedo hit. Not this much, like, well, Costa Concordia, because, and, yeah, definitely would not have listed this much like Costa Concordia. Probably would just list by the bow. And it's 3 in the morning, so we should have a sunrise as the ship is capsizing. Well, listing onto her side. Funnel should collapse soon, I would assume. Yep, there goes funnel. She's sinking like the Empress of Ireland. She would definitely not sink like the Empress of Ireland, IRL, because Storstad did never collided into the Carpathia. And she's going down by the stern, just like the sink by simulation from the Empress of Ireland. It was a torpedo that sunk Carpathia, not the Storstad, so she would not sink like this. She would probably have a list after torpedo strike, but it could be wrong. Wow, 2 canard vessels in this video. First being Berengaria, second one being Carpathia. Of course, Carpathia is more well known. Pretty well known. But yeah, it's a slight sunrise as the Carpathia goes down. And there goes the very tip of the bow as she plunges under the waves. Oh wow, rogue wave. Another rogue wave. I've seen so many rogue waves today with the Carpathia. But there goes the bow, and let's follow her to the bottom. She will hit the bottom soon. Yep, there goes the boilers and engines and her mast. And there she is on her side, which is inaccurate. She's laying on her keel like Titanic, her bow bent, so like Titanic. But anyway, since we are at a port, near a port, let's go spawn in our next ship that we'll be checking out. Okay, so now we're going to check out the Centaur and the Raffaello. As you remember, the Centaur being in my first ever... As you may remember, the Centaur being in my first ever Tiny Sailors World video, and I never checked it out ever since the first Tiny Sailors World video after the Reclaim Disaster series. Because the Centaur is small, surprisingly faster than Carpathia though, we won't be doing any voyages. We'll just be sailing around Halifax until we sink the ship. Here we are. And the ship beside me is actually my friend in the Queen Mary. So we'll be sinking it with the hospital livery, of course, because that's accurate. And sink by simulation. There's the torpedo. There's the U-boat. Boom. And she's now going down fast. Because she actually went down pretty fast IRL. And there she goes. Only one lifeboat able to get away. And let's go check out the wreck. See if it's accurate. Never seen photos of the Centaur wreck, of course. And let's see the wreck. Okay, I assume that's pretty accurate. Let's head up. There's the Queen Mary above. You jump in so I can get up faster. So my friend has to go, so won't be seeing the Queen Mary anymore. And now it's for the Raffaello. Here we are in the Raffaello. Nice Italian liner. Does this have a different livery, you're wondering? Yes. Just boring because they get rid of the colors. Just like with the Centaur, we won't be doing any voyages. Actually, maybe. We'll do a voyage to New York. Interestingly, how the Italian line actually makes green stripes between the red hull and the white hull. They probably did that to make the ship more interesting. Not sure. And there's actually a green sheer stripe going on the ship because, as we all know, this is an Italian vessel. 26 knots, very fast, so we'll be able to get to New York very fast. This is a pretty modern superliner. It has a pool on the outside deck. But no, it's not a superliner, just a regular ocean liner. Even though it looks like the size for a superliner. Anyway, let's get going to New York. We will be at New York pretty fast because the ship is actually going 26 knots because that's what the Italian line wanted. Sleek and fast ships. I'm not sure, but I think there's actually interior. Yeah, there is some interior. In this back under the pool deck, which is very cool. Oh no, turn. We don't want to collide with the land. Interestingly, the first funnel, if we look at it this way, it's actually a bit taller than the second funnel. Interesting. So it's kind of... And this is a very interesting design for a funnel, because we got the regular funnel, but it's surrounded by bars, and then we got like the wing on top of the funnel, like the SS United States in America. The first funnel looks like an SS United States funnel because it's tall. And the second one actually looks like an SS America funnel. Before, the SS America funnel was raised a bit higher. Anyway, it is now becoming dark again, so let's turn on the lights. Way brighter than the other two ships. Well, the other three. Berengaria lights, very light. Bright. Carpathia, not so light. And we cannot see the Centaur's lights because it was daytime. But these lights, oh boy, they're definitely bright. Oh my, because we're going 26 knots, we're almost at New York. So the New York and Halifax Techs are almost about the same size, so we're at the halfway point. Oh my god, I can already see the land that's near New York. This ship is almost as fast as the SS United States. Jeez. Surprisingly, we had no hazards except for the Carpathia and the iceberg, which is a funny what if the Carpathia hit an iceberg when it was heading to rescue Titanic. But yeah, we're actually almost at New York. Nice horn. But we are almost at New York. If you take a look at the mini-map, we're actually almost there. Very nice. And there is New York. Right there. Pretty insane how we got there so fast from Halifax to New York. Takes a while for me to enter New York. But once we enter New York, we'll sink the vessel. And just like part 1, this is also going to be probably going to be a 1-hour video. Let's sail out. And now let's sink the vessel. How about... We never did... Hold on. What should we do? Sink by bow with starboard list and split. That's it. That's a sink-in I never did. That's a sink-in I never did in a while. Okay, she's now going down. There's my camera turning. Gotta move before the lifeboat collides into me. Of course, you can't see me because I'm invisible. And a lifeboat has impacted me. Okay, the bridge is now going down. Look, let me rephrase that. The bridge is now underwater. First funnel has collapsed, and she has split. Can you see the interior after the split? No, you cannot. How sad. Oh, it may actually hit its own bow, actually. Copyright the music. Turn it off. That's better. And the stern is now going under. The back kind of gives me that Queen Mary and Queen Elizabeth vibe. Copyrighted music is now gone. Good. And there's Gentleman's leg going under. Has it? I have stand corrected. It did not hit its bow. Now this is a pretty interesting wreck. You have the bow like this and the stern behind it. That's a pretty interesting wreck. Well guys, that's the end of this video. I have to end the video because my phone is burning my fingers because it's overheating. So I'll let it cool down and then I'll see you in part 3. So don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Adios.
Vira homem, porra.